Alright, I want to say hi again everybody, it's me, Richard, okay, Wushu Richard Clark, okay, here again, with another video. I want to talk to you about some ideas I've been having, okay, recently, okay, for my channels. It's like this, okay, and also some another thing I want to say to you too about my thoughts on a certain topic regarding combat, okay, combat in general. But first of all, I'm going to tell you about my channel, what's going on, okay. I've got a lot of channels, as you know. I've got quite a lot of different channels now. I mean, it's more, you know, I've got a small group of channels. I do what I do, you know. It's all about sharing martial arts, you know, kung fu and all martial arts and traditional martial arts. And I share humbly from what I have learned in my life, that I've been able to learn from different sources, various teachers that I've come into contact with over my life, and I just feel, you know, what has benefited me in my life on all levels, be it physical, mental, spiritual, whatever, from the various different arts that I've studied. I like to share, you know, share what I've gained from the martial arts, just from my own point of view. You know, I just share the techniques that I feel I like, you know, and the training methods, be it everything, you know, to do with health and fitness, to be with for the training, for self-defense, you know, all the aspects of the martial arts, the philosophy. And I stand up for true traditional martial arts. I'm not a fan. I do not, my personal opinion, okay, I don't stand up for violence. I don't like MMA or cage fighting or UFC. That's just my thing, okay. And you know, people just wrestling, wasting their own energies, just struggling in big bulky, you know, bags of meat. Just, I know I'm kind of a thin-looking guy, as I've said before, you know, and I'm not only looking, I'm thin. I could be more stronger, and we've all got our different strengths and weaknesses and things we need to work on. But it's like, when I see big people that are like really, you know, big bags of meat, basically just pounding blood out of each other's faces, and then just going down to the ground, just struggling on the ground too, laying down, and I know they say there's an art to it and all that, but to me, I just don't, it's not appealing to me. I think martial arts helps you on all levels, and we need to understand different kinds of ways to fight in different situations, all methods, and respect that and tradition and everything. But ultimately, you want to stand up as a human being, and you know, it's about more so. It's about improving yourself also. Okay. So anyway, I'm not here to talk about that though. I'm not here to talk about that today in this video. I'm not going to be talking about, you know, my thoughts on traditional martial arts versus MMA, because I go on about it all the time. But what I am going to say, okay, is a few things here. And that is, you know, I've got like multiple channels, as you know, and it's like I do different things on my different channels. Well, this channel here, where I share like all the stuff I do, my training, my raps that I do for fun too, my little raps I make, you know, here and there, the fun little movie type videos I make, where I'm just playing around, having fun, making like movie videos just for fun. And all that, and plus my deep videos, my philosophy and like talk videos where I'm talking, and all of that, you know, and then hardcore training again, martial arts training, or at least hardcore from my perspective, okay, it's my stuff, you know, what I do, and it's like various systems of martial arts I'm trying to share, like methods of training from different styles and different skills, okay, from kung fu styles mainly. Then, as you know, I've got like other channels and stuff. I've got like channels which are like dedicated to rap only, which is like, all of this is like carrying the spirit of martial arts through it. I mean, martial arts is what my whole life's about, you know, but it's like different channels for different things, you know. I've got another channel for like cartoons. I've been working very hard trying to make like simple, like fun, you know, just for entertainment, like cartoons, little animated cartoons and stuff, just for fun. You may or may not like them, you know, it's up to you how you feel. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to say that I've got different channels catering to different things, different areas. You may or may not know I've got another channel, okay, which is like WR Kung Fu. That's Wushu Richard Kung Fu. You know, online my name is Wushu Richard, as you know, Richard Clark. But I want you to get one thing straight. I'm not totally just Wushu only and all that, and that's all it's about, as in as in however you might see that, wushu, whatever, the styles of kung fu and that. I'm talking about, that was a name that I came up with years and years and years ago because I was a massive fan of Jet Li movies. Jet Li, the actor, and he was talking about wushu and this and that, and he's studied a number of different martial arts in his life. But it's like, for me, I just took that as a name, just as a username, just randomly at the time. And I used to have a channel which was just Wushu Richard, as you know. Since then, over the last 8 years, over 8 years now, I've been uploading so many videos online on YouTube and various different websites, as you know. And I want to thank you, everybody who's been watching and supporting and me on this journey. It's a mad journey. I started my martial arts when I was 12 years old. With karate, first of all karate. I don't know exactly what specific style of karate it was, but I did karate for a couple of years, nearly 3 years it was, and then I did kickboxing for nearly 3 years. It was hardcore kickboxing. For me it was real hardcore training. Then I was moving on to the Chinese systems. I did a little bit of Wing Chun, and then I moved up and learned a 5 animal kung fu with a good teacher. That was my first ever proper Chinese teacher. I did that for around 3 years almost, and then what happened was, as I moved here to China, and I've been in China, living here in China, as I say, because my wife and that is Chinese. I'm from England, but I was here and I continued learning some more martial arts. And what I did is I learned wushu, basic long fist wushu forms. The stuff that you say is showy, or just it's showy stuff. But it's a lot of people argue that it's useless and that's got no use, but it's for your fitness and coordination and all the rest of it, and it's got its benefits. That's what I will say. All martial arts have got their benefits. I learned long fist wushu, I learned weapons, more basic broadsword. I learned some forms basically. It was mostly a bow staff, or gun in Chinese, where it's the staff and a long stick, and as I say, I also learned some very, very basic Tai Chi and Bagua also. Tai Chi and Bagua basics, okay. So I love all the martial arts. And when I was learning my 5 animal kung fu back in England from a very good Chinese teacher he was though, we focused mainly on tiger and crane, and we learned some southern mantis. We also learned some basic chin na techniques. That's talking about certain pressure points and things and joint manipulation, locks and certain things like that. Self-defense techniques basically. We focused on basic qigong training, forms, a lot of philosophy. My teacher used to share a lot of, and also we learned weapons, which were a southern broadsword and staff, bow staff also. Bow being the Japanese terminology, the bow and the jo, but I'm talking about the gun, okay, the staff, the Chinese stick, long stick, staff and the broadsword I learned with him, plus some basic knife self-defense, which I also learned in the kickboxing school too, along with some other different self-defense skills. I learned some, again, in the 5 animal kung fu school, I learned some butterfly knife techniques. It was actually a form, but I didn't learn the whole form. And then my favourite, which we learned, was the double sticks, just 2 sticks. I'm not talking about Kali or Eskrima, but it was double sticks, about short sticks, about that length. But we train with the 2 sticks, can learn certain patterns and drills and stuff, and how to block and strike. It's different movements, Now I've always been a massive fan of martial art movies, okay, and films. I know a lot of people say showy stuff, but I was a massive fan of Jet Li in the past. He was a real martial artist, but it was in films, it's I've always been fascinated by the entertainment side of it. I know films are films and that's different, but it's the way that they would show the techniques and it was it's just great, and there's an art to it. So I was always into that too, the way that they made the Hong Kong and Chinese martial art movies back in the day, especially more so in the past. And just I used to collect loads and loads of videos and DVDs and things, and just watch them over and over again. And I know damn well, obviously, that movie fighting and real fighting are different, but it's still you can study so much and learn so much from different ways of movement. It's the same way as you can study from all kinds of fitness training across different levels. It's not so that you have to. It's the same way Bruce Lee did again. You know, just studying from various different physical arts, all kinds of martial arts and all kinds of physical activity, and how to move, you know, and train your body and experiment and train yourself to be stronger and more fitter, and as you see, to make your own way and make it unique to you. So it's been a wonderful journey, as I say, learning and studying from martial arts, be it people I've trained with, teachers, or in schools, or be it from just people that I've known who have been in the martial arts, and people that I've learned bits and pieces from who have studied other arts. Throughout the various schools I went to, martial arts schools, I also came into contact with people of different systems, such as, for example, when I was doing the 5 Animal Kung Fu system, you know, there were students in there who were also students of other systems, such as Jiu-Jitsu, although I'm not interested in Jiu-Jitsu at all. But I'm just saying, for example, there were people in there who had done Aikido as well, which I'm a massive fan of, but I've never learned properly. I've never had formal training in it. I've just looked at techniques online and stuff and studied that. There were people who had done Aikido. There were people in there that were really into Wing Chun and Tai Chi training. So I got some experience training with them and learning a few techniques here and there. I knew of JKD early on because of Bruce Lee and that, you know. Excuse me, I'm yawning. It's hot. The weather's so hot here in China at this time of year, you know, and it just makes you feel, you know, a bit tired. But I'm okay, you know. Nowadays though, it's different. It's like in the last recent few years, you know, well, in the recent few years, I've been training just by myself. I've just been training at home, just doing my own. Well, I'll tell you the truth, man. It's 8 years because since I come to China, I was doing some training and that. I trained for around, in total, it must be around a year of that. So let's say just over 7 years or something around that length of time. Over 7 years, it must have been. I've been just since I stopped training due to work and other things, and it was like inconvenient for me to be travelling to certain parks and things where they used to train. So I just found out what was right for me and experimented, you know, and I just continued my training at home and just train nearby where I live and at home and just exercise and you know, it's the same old thing, you know. It's good to learn more. The more you can learn on any proper style out there, the more you can really get hands-on experience training with professionals and stuff. Of course, that's the right way to go about it. You've got to be smart. You can't bullshit around, you know. But it's like ultimately, one man can't learn everything, and you know, and it's like in your one life, you do what you want to do. You do what you feel is fit for you and how you see is fit for you. If you get into a fight and lose a fight for whatever situation, first of all, you shouldn't be trying to get into fights. You should be trying to avoid violent confrontation. That's what martial arts is about. But if you do get into a fighting situation, then it depends on your fitness, stamina, the skills you know, and what comes natural to you, based on whatever experience you've had in martial arts training or whatever physical training, to deal with that situation. It doesn't mean because you know, you've been training taekwondo your whole life, and you say, well, you know, I should have done MMA or jiu-jitsu, so that's why I lost the fight, blah blah blah. And fair enough, there are things where you might get taken down to the ground or whatever, or things where you might not be so good at whatever, this or that technique, and you might start saying, well, you know, if I would have learned that, I would have been better, blah blah blah. You know, you can argue what's better to use, you know, a gun or a sword or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's all complications. Ultimately, you know, be fluid like water. You know, Bruce Lee again himself. I'm not even a massive fan of Bruce Lee, but he was a legend. But I'm a massive fan of him. But I wasn't a fan of his films. I was more interested in him, the person. But I think Bruce Lee, you know, truly again, he was one of those people. Bruce Lee wasn't like an absolute master in any one system, as in, excuse me, he didn't learn the full system of any one system. He was like learning bits and pieces from different teachers. He was lucky to have a very good foundation basis in that Wing Chun and different systems that he'd learned from certain teachers, but he made it his own and said, you know what, I'm going to be the best me I can be. The same way that Mike Tyson focused on his boxing and he wanted to be the best him he could be, with all spiritual heart and everything. He had, you know, his you know, Cus D'Amato, his you know, instructor, you know, and like it was like a father figure to him, you know, Mike Tyson's teacher. He was like, you know, fan in the flames, as he said, you know, and Mike Tyson trained himself to be really strong, and he just won every fight through the art of boxing. This man with a true heart fought through, and the fire, I mean, burned down the walls. That was, he burned himself out of a cage of impossibility. And that's to make, to make possible, and what was possibility become the champion. Hold on one second. So I'm saying, so it's the same thing with like Bruce Lee, though. He studied numerous arts, but he was all about the man too. He was a real man inside himself, who focused on the one, the unit, the self, the soul, and he trained himself, trained his arse off at home, to be the best him he could be, and expressing it naturally and fluidly. So what I'm trying to say, okay, is this: everybody's different. Everybody does different arts. Steven Seagal done Aikido, right? Whatever. Larry Tatum done Kempo, whatever. Yeah. There's people that have founded certain systems too. Okay. There's people that have been like the founders of various systems in the martial arts too, such as like they've invented a system of their own. Be it JKD from Bruce Lee, be it any kind of whoever excuse me now, I'm just forgetting names and stuff, but like the founder of American American Kempo, whatever it might be, or Hapkido, and you just see different, I'm just saying, you see different systems and who found them, or different schools of whatever karate it might be. And some of the stuff you look at it and you say, well, that's just bullshit, and just making up crap. But then sometimes you've got to say, look, we've got to be honest and say, look, everybody's doing their own honest expression of something, and that's what it is. And we've got to respect that. For them, they're being honest. You've got to, it's like people being hypocritical. People being hypocritical. Some people will say, what? They'll praise you, they'll say, look, there's not enough originality. People need to be original, and make their own thing up, rather than just following other stuff and just using the name and blah blah blah. But then some people be original and then make their own thing up, and then people start putting it down, and they say, well, that's a load of old bullshit, like there's Snow, Tiger, Bagua, or whatever system, so you just make something up, there's people out there just making up, and you say, well, that's just ridiculous. Scorpion kickboxing, Sunrise, Tai Chi Jitsu, you're making up names, and it's like, what, that's BS. Now that might be their own expressive form of what they're doing, and you say, well, why doesn't he just name it his name? It's like me, Richard Clark, or Wushu Richard, my name online. You might say, because of my username, Wushu Richard, it sounds kind of like an ego. I say, Wushu Richard's Kung Fu. Even like recently, I've been putting my name, my RC, Richard Clark's, like Wing Chun and Tai Chi and things like that. And I'm thinking about it, I don't even know the whole full systems, I just know what I know. But I'm not going to bow down and give up and say, well, you know what, I don't know enough about any one system, so I'll give up on all of my martial arts experience in my whole life, because that would be fucking ridiculous to myself. And I'm not for other people, whatever they think. If they put you up and say you're great, or they say you're shit, it doesn't make a difference. But other people, you've got to believe in yourself at the end of the day. You can't lie to yourself. I end up getting knocked the fuck out because my technique's no good, and that's what it is. If I'm in great health and fitness every day, and that's also what it is, that's the truth of my development and my training. I can learn, and I can be open-minded, and I can choose well and truly what I want to do with today. If I want to learn from another system and train from what's out there, if I want to learn more, I can continue lying to myself most of my life. I can continue training whatever I want for the rest of my life, the way I've been training. I can get into fights and get more experience. I can whatever this or that, or try different methods. And it's all open to you. The good thing about martial arts is it's a journey into the self. You're improving yourself. You're learning about what your capabilities are. You're learning to be honest with yourself, because you will come up against challenges, constant challenges and flaws, and you find that you have to alter your direction, and improve, your training methods and all the rest of it. But it's like, as long as you are satisfied, it's part of your life, it's who you are, and you're avoiding violent confrontations most of if you can, and you're keeping healthy in that. That's the most important thing. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not in the mouth of somebody else, though, to say, oh, this guy's being inventive or living in a dream world, he's just making up his own shit world, but it's all crap. but then you see the guy win a fight and you say, oh, actually it's pretty good, you know, let's follow him, because he might be just lucky that day, or he might be just against someone. Anyone can attack someone else, you know. It depends on defense and the situation. Every situation is different, and who you're up against or whatever, you know what I mean. Well, it's the same way as, you know, you can't keep saying, oh, well, you know, all these people just following a system like a robot, like machine or whatever, and that's it. It's like you've got to do. I think there needs to be a balance between all of it. There needs to be a balance between tradition, as what you've learned from other people, even I'm saying, even from you studying from somebody else. I don't care if that system's been around for thousands of years or whatever. That guy who invented the system, he was also being original at the time. It doesn't matter if you learn it from him or you learn it from somebody else. If you're passing on that, if that's being passed on from generation after generation, just saying, oh, I'm doing so-and-so's Kung Fu, like I'm doing JKD or whatever, and you haven't had permission by Bruce Lee himself or whatever, then fair enough, yeah, you could be bullshitting around in that way, trying to say you're doing someone else's art. Whenever you even try to do someone else's art, even with their permission, you still can't do it, because you're not that person, and it all comes from the mind that drives the vehicle. It's who you are. You know what I mean? You might learn driving from your driving instructor, but then you start driving the same car, but it's not the same car, it's not the same journey, you're not him, and you're you, and you're just mimicking something else because you feel like you're empty and you've got nothing in yourself, and you start using a name to empower yourself and get attention from people. Fair enough, that's what it is, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is you've got to be honest on what it is. Now with me, I'm trying to be like, I don't want to say creative and make it sound like I'm creating some shit up. Also, I create what I do, my Richard Clark's Kung Fu or whatever, or like free flow martial arts. That's what it basically is, free flow martial arts, free flow Kung Fu. I call it more so because it's like a lot of different Kung Fu systems mostly I practice, but you know, it's like people will say what they want to say about me. They will see me and say, well, look at that guy, look how thin he is. Or you might say, well, you know, or this is suitable for some people, it's not suitable for some other people. Yeah, fair enough. It's suitable for me though, but I can do more for myself, exactly right. And you might say, well, yeah, first of all, stop lying to yourself, Richard, and blah, 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 whatever. But it's like, I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. I don't give a shit what anyone else says. Okay? Or a living piss or a deaf fucking crap what someone else says, okay? I'm just saying, to me, I do my martial arts what I do. I flow with all of my styles naturally. If I ever get into a fight, I will use whatever comes naturally to me to win in self-defense. I have had to use it once in the street here, but I'm saying, you know, if I get knocked the fuck out or killed, then that is going to be also down to my skill level, and I'm sort of happy I can honestly say it's not down to my ignorance, because I don't have any ignorance. I'm open-minded and I'm willing to learn from different systems and other things like other people. I'm not saying this is what it is and Kung Fu and I learned from so-and-so. I hardly ever even say, I don't mention my teachers a lot online, even names, because what's the fucking point? I'm who I am, and they'll put me down anyway. And my styles are such a fucking disgrace if I keep doing that, because it's not even their thing. And I'll be lying to myself and disgracing myself if I was to say that. I'm happy to say that I do what I do, as long as I'm winning more in my life on all levels, more than losing. That's true martial arts, and that's what it's really about. Yeah, that's what I see. So it's like I'll try to help other people by sharing the good that I've learned from this in my life, and not say that this is a lesson you need to learn from me and blah blah blah, because I'm the skinny kid off the block, you know, and fuck it, and you know, I'm living in China and my name's Wushu Richard. That's just bullshit, okay? I say I'm originally from England, as I say, I'm living in China, but it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, whatever, what language you speak. It's all about self-help. Now, martial arts, I stand up for all of it. I stand up for all the style of it, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever style of martial arts. Any systems of self-help too. And systems, yeah, they talk about systems as a system being something like, a system's like something that can seem like it's got you on lockdown. You're just part of that system, you're just part of that. You know, and you're not original, you're not free, and you're not unique in yourself. You just follow the system. But I don't mean that. What I mean is you follow tried and tested methods that have like worked for so many people. You know, like Bruce Lee was saying, we've all got like 2 arms, 2 legs. People do have different forms of fighting, fair enough, whatever. You will do, because everybody's different. But it was like, still it's got balance, you know. It's like, you know damn well in the history, systems of martial arts, be it whatever systems of martial arts, they've been like proven to actually work. Thousands of people using like Aikido that have actually worked in battle, or like sword fighting, or whatever it might be, you know. karate systems, taekwondo, kung fu systems, tai chi. It's actually work. The benefits of the health and fitness have been. I'm not just saying people that just go into it and follow blindly. I'm just trying to wear the, for the belts and all that. I'm just trying to say people that in the outfit. I'm just trying to say people that are actually, it's been proven the physical ability of it, the spiritual, the mental, the physical benefits, and the actual fighting combat, the actual techniques, self-defense techniques. There's stuff that really works, and I mean works. You know what I mean? So those things we need to learn and respect the tradition and respect all that and what's gone before and past. Learn from that and learn new methods and other methods and study all of the beauty of all these different arts that are out there in the world, and improve ourselves more by focusing on ourselves and what we're doing, by being realistic to ourselves. If you're saying I'm lazy, I don't want to do more weights, kind of like me, I should be doing more weights, but if I was good, anyone can do anything with the dedication. It's like I work myself down so that I can do the splits. It took me ages to do. Now I'm not even flexible as I was back then. Now I've been just doing lighter stretching and stuff, but I'm still doing now my workouts focus more on flexibility, stretching and strength, but it's like balanced out. Before I was doing more extreme like stretching. I'm just saying I proved to myself that I could work myself into the splits. So I'm just trying to say, if I was to focus my mind on weightlifting, I could focus my mind on that. It's like me here in China now, in Chinese I can speak with most people in basic Mandarin Chinese more. And it wasn't really determination, it was just practice though, and a constant, because I was here and I had to. And so the more you practice something, you will. If you're forced into it, so the more you do, you will. But it's like, if you've got dedication and you focus and you really want to do something, you will be able to do it. So what I'm trying to say is if I might say I'm lazy, if someone's lazy, or to do more weights or go running or whatever, then that's still your own choice. Fair enough. Let them be who they will be. If they don't want to do that, they don't do that. If you're somebody else and you like to do weights, or you like to do this or that, different kinds of training methods that are different to somebody else's, fair enough. As long as you're not coming up with excuses and blah 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 and saying, you lose fights because of blah 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 and so cheated or whatever, and trying to make up shit. You lose and you win and you lose for your own for yourself, your reaction and your ability, and it's all down to you in a situation. If it's like fights or whatever it might be, or in your whole life, it's all, your strengths and your weaknesses are literally your own. So as long as you're able to admit that and be honest about it, that's fine. And if you're being original and creative and saying, well, I'm making my own style, I'm going to call it 10-star magic monkey karate stick fighting, in the sky. If you make a name up for your style and you say, well, this is what I do, it's my style, or you might just say it's my name, like Richard Clark Kung Fu. You know what I'm trying to say? It's the same thing. I think that's fair enough. We can say, all right, respect and that. If people didn't give names to their own organisation or their own thing they create, then fair enough. But you need something in form of language. You need something to say what this is. The same way as you name your child. You name your. So why should we have the right to name another human being? Name themselves. I'm just saying, for example, I'm saying that people, you could say something foolish like that. What I'm trying to say is, if you create something, why can't you name it? You write a story, you should be able to name it, right? Or the story you've walked your whole life, and you've written that story down in the book. Why can't you name that what you want to name? So people want to put things down and say that's all bullshit because of the name, or you're just making up crap. That's also wrong. You're being creative and unique and original. That's good. If someone sees what you do or wants to know more about what you do and they like it and they want to learn from you, fair enough, great. And when you share, and if that person asks you for permission, can they share that with others and have a school in that name? The first thing I would say is why don't you be more creative and make something of your own, But if they wanted to honour you and say, well, I've learned so much from you, and I honestly know it's my own free expression, but I still like your way and I want to use that name because I like it or whatever, and because I learned from you, I would say, okay, fine, So if you were to give that permission, and it was like giving permission to pass down, you saw it as being up to that level, and that's what it is, and so that person's in the right state of mind, then fair enough, pass it, then that's fine. But so it doesn't matter who, you know, that the most important thing is we be true to ourselves and we admit and be honest to ourselves, because the more we lie to ourselves, the more we fuck up our life. And the more you lie to others, you're just lying to yourself too, and you're just a complete empty fuck up shell walking around the earth like nothing. You know, you've got dust in your carcass. So basically, you know, there's, I saw some guy, I'm going to go on to the point in a minute, okay? I'm going to tell you about some guy in a minute. First of all, I'm going to say, right, it's like this. My martial arts, as you know, it's like free flow kung fu, free flow martial arts. I do a lot of martial arts. I do my own system of like Wing Chun and Tai Chi, but it's like I don't know any full system in absolute full. Now you might say, well, that's absolute shit. Well, if you're going to say that, you might as well go up to Bruce Lee and say he's absolute shit. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, at the end of the day, that physical body and physical ability in the martial arts and what he knows is, you know, is him, and he even give a name for it, is JKD, you know. So if you get knocked out by him, you will say, damn, Bruce Lee's the man, you know. If you end up knocking him out, you still believe that, you know, everything you said is right. So it's not about proving this or that wrong or what you believe, you know, or it's just what it is. So I do what I do, I know what I do, and I do a lot of different elements of different martial arts and take that into my life. There's no way I'm going to learn the full system from some almighty God-like being in the world, from history, whose spirit's going to come back and say, I am the whole essence of this martial art or martial arts, and I'm going to tell you and I'm going to give you, you know, this is not. But you can get, like, you know, the nod, let's say, from people, or you can get, you know, people say, you know, of authority who've been passed down authentically over, you know, over the years, and who's got permission to, like, give you or whatever ranks. But, you know, it's been diluted so much and it's messed up so much over the years, and now you got all this shit MMA and stuff running all around, you know, and it's like, for me, it's like, I just do what I do then, study from what sources are out there in terms of traditional martial arts, you know, real martial arts, and share that with others. And if they want to think what they think of it, or think it's just shit or whatever, or knock me the fuck out in a fight, then fair enough. If I win, I win. If I lose, fair enough. If people want to say, they want to, you know, learn something from me, or they like what they see in the videos of me training, and they say, you know, then you know, good, I'm happy, I can help someone who's humble, you know, and I'm always happy to study from other people too, you know what I mean? So martial arts is about being humble. It's not about getting into challenge fights and all the rest of it. But in real life, real terminology, the truth of it is, if you're talking about the fighting side of the martial arts, it's all down to the fight on the night. Even Mike Tyson got knocked down one time, right? And he's like, so he's like not indestructible. It's not to say that he would never get caught by a punch. But Mike Tyson was the man. He won more so. And what it's all about is training. That's one side of it, and then how that works into whatever random situation at any given time on the street if you need to use it. But keep yourself healthy. Don't get into fights, and be creative. Do other stuff. I do my other stuff. I like to draw, I like to do my cartoons, I like to do my raps, I like to make fun little movies. I spend time with family, I go outside, do whatever else I want to do in my life, you know. And martial arts is helping me. Martial arts is the key for that. I'm not looking for fights. I don't believe in sport, ring fighting. I don't believe in any forms of violence. The world's fucked up enough as it is, you know. And it's just see the beauty in it. You know, the last thing you want to do is get into a fight, but the last thing you want to do is get hurt badly or get killed, you know. So you have to train to be ready, but avoid all confrontations and negativity in general. Avoid negativity. Now, I've been teaching my simple martial arts, like, on videos, and teaching some simple techniques what I've been learning in my life. I've been teaching my systems, like mainly Wing Chun, a bit of Tai Chi, and animal kung fu that I learned in the past, and plus you know, just simple techniques that I've learned in my life that have helped me, the Wushu form for that coordination, just basic forms and that. Just teaching people that so people can keep fit and healthy to some level. I'm not saying MMA or the best standard. I'm not even the biggest, toughest guy. I'm kind of thin, but I mean, teaching all kinds of people, plus like little extra classes for like women and children and things for extra simple self-defense. Certain techniques, it's mostly about skill in self-defense and your mindset and all the rest of it. That's also very deep, and your character and the skill is more important than the muscle, they say. But it's like, yeah, you do want to be stronger in your body. You know, I could do with that too. I could do with like doing more hardcore workouts. I've been training really hard. I used to train more than 4 hours per day in the past. I used to train like, I used to sometimes spend all day like in the dojo where I was at before, or the kickboxing school where I was at, for example, before. And I used to go for long walks too and all the rest of it. So I've always been one that have been active and very healthy and fit within my frame and physique. And I'm not comparing with the toughest guys out there or fighters and that, or you know, athletes, but I'm comparing with various people that say they do exercise, and I'm also comparing that in these words here to all the people out there who are doing nothing for themselves. And there's people out there who are doing nothing for themselves, just bad mouthing other people, just sitting there getting fat out of or whatever, or skinny or fat, just taking drugs, smoking, drinking. I don't do any of that. It's just me, okay? I try and take care of my health the best I can. We're not all perfect like gods and that and monks. So I might not eat the most healthy all the time. Sometimes we might eat different kinds of food, you know. But it's like, life is what it is, and I'll be humble. I don't try and get into arguments with people. I'm open-minded to other people and that. And I just focus on energizing myself, making myself stronger and more knowledgeable in my mind and body. You know what I mean? And stronger. You know what I mean? So it's like. Nowadays, you know, I do my training, and it's like I just do what I do, and I'm happy to share with anybody. I'm saying, but it's like people. There's so many people out there who are not humble enough, and they're just ignorant, and they just go into martial arts or fighting with the wrong attitude. It's like fighting, challenging, or whatever. If you saw a martial arts instructor or teacher, and you said, "Can I learn from you? You know, you want to teach me?" Oh, you want to teach me something, I want to see if you're any good and I want to fight you. That's always been around since back in the day, ancient days, you know. But it's the wrong fucking attitude, you know what I mean? Sometimes it doesn't work like that. So you get into a fight with that guy, and you hurt the guy or you beat him in a fight. Because you beat him or you just catch him unstuck, does that mean you can learn nothing from him? I believe you might be able to catch Mike Tyson or some champion boxer off guard. I believe that, some champion boxer. You yourself might be able to stand there and say, so you think you can teach me a lot, yeah? About fighting, yeah? And suddenly, fair enough, he's going to be on his guard straight away for that. But I'm just saying, straight away, if you were to just catch him with a straw, just stand there and just knock him, even not even say anything, just by surprise, just punch the guy in the head. You might say, that's not a fair fight. I don't give a fuck, right? What's a fair fight in a fight? I'm saying you hit the guy out, and then suddenly you say, well, that guy just got hit by me, or my action was faster than his reaction. What a bullshit fucking statement. Reactions are definitely reacting to someone's action anyway, it will be. I'm just saying, though. So the defender will be, the one who's attacking is the one who's got a problem anyway. But I'm trying to say, you know, if you were to go with that fucking wrong attitude anyway towards fighting, if you were to go up to that guy and hit the guy in the head, straight away in your mind you will feel the ego. You'll feel, well, you know what, man? This guy can teach me nothing, right? Or this guy's a soldier, this guy's a really, really smart guy, he knows everything about warfare, he knows about all different kinds of training, and you just kill the guy straight out, and you say, well, how can I learn, what's the point in following him and listening to him, because I just killed the guy, he's not a real warrior, you know, or whatever. But if the guy was actually to avoid your attack, you might start thinking, oh yeah, he really is that good, you know, start following, and that's the wrong fucking attitude. If you go around every day and just, like, you know, take off around 10 warriors, 10 ultimate fighting champions, I'm saying, yeah, you know, and and if you were to do that, and you I mean, really world-renowned fighters, and if you were to, like, catch them unstuck, you know, off guard, because anybody can be caught off guard, even masters anyway. And you were to catch them off guard, right? Try to prove people wrong to prove you're right, or you just whatever. And then you start, let's say, well, I can learn from none of these guys because I just caught them off guard, and you just walk off. You might think you're right and all the rest of it, and yeah, fair enough, they did have that because they're not perfect. No one's the imperfect being, you know. But if those people were off guard, caught off guard for that moment, and you just walk off, then fair enough, you'll learn nothing from them. The only one you can learn from is the one you believe is your teacher, and that might be a fucking idiot. And if you believe a fucking idiot is the best teacher in the world, believe me, you will learn a lot of lessons from that guy. If you believe you'll learn nothing from whoever, then you'll learn nothing from whoever. It's the same thing. It's like I'm a teacher here in China, but I'm teaching English, but it's not about that. I'm just trying to say, you know, I even share my philosophy and stuff of life in videos too. I was saying some people will listen to certain parts of what you say or what you believe for their own personal reasons. It's all about personal thing. They don't even know what it is. People have got too much ego in them, and they just listen to what they want to listen to most of the time, and what they think they already know. They go in with their one idea, they come out with the same idea already, And if you agree to most of what they say, they'll agree to some of what you say, and it's just a balancing thing. And nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about anyway. I'm a massive fan of Jock Fresco, as I say, this guy called Jock Fresco. He even said that, the Venus Project, you know, and that. He's great, you know. So I'm just saying, you know, you sort of saying, you know what I mean? You know, someone who's worked their way up in the ranks of the army, or let's say, for example, who really knows everything about combat. And he's like, definitely, how would he be able to work his way up, you know, the head of the police force, or the head of the army, let's say, and you're hiding from a mile away with a sniper rifle, and you just shoot the guy dead, and you say, look at that guy, I caught him off with guard, you know, no excuses, man, I caught you off guard, you know, you're a piece of shit, that guy, you know, it was all fake. You see, that's your chance gone right there. Whereas if you would listen to him and learn, you could learn a lot more about strategies of combat from that guy before you killed that guy. Then all those strategies you learned, you could take into different situations that might help you in your life. But because you killed that guy who you could have learned from, you might be the only one who even, almost like having the only one who had the cure for your illness, basically, medicine. But so this soldier, you've killed this, you know, veteran war hero, with the knowledge, you know, you've killed that guy off, you've burned your book of knowledge, basically, yeah, straight off, without even looking in it, yeah, and so now you don't have the knowledge, you're not able to get out of the place alive, they're saying, you know, you get beaten by other little small fucking other situations, and you know, or other situations just get the better of you. Whereas if you were to have been humble and said, look, fair enough, I'm big, I'm strong, I'm young, and this is a little old skinny man here, and fair enough, I can knock him the fuck out and whatever the fuck, and just kill him right here. I've got a gun to his head, and I've got the power, and I've got the mouth, and all this, and I'm in control of myself. I don't need that shit. I can get into a challenge now. I'm not afraid. Well, I'm not afraid of challenges. Challenge him right now. And you might have all that. Although that, you're wasting your time. If you were to put that all aside and say, look, you know what? Fine. You say you know something. I'm going to follow you humbly and try and learn from you. That guy. I mean, here's an example. Have you seen Cus D'Amato? Now, I don't know how well a boxer Cus D'Amato was and the history of Cus D'Amato. Mike Tyson's teacher. Yeah? If that guy, you see him, he's like a little old man. Apparently he's half blind, he was. I don't know, he's like an old guy, but I think, sitting there. See how fat he was too? Now, you can say, well, fair enough, he's old or rich. I don't know what he was like when he was younger, but I'm just trying to say, whatever though, young or old, when you look at the condition of such a person just sitting there, and you say, how the hell is he able to like create this fucking warrior champion, Mike Tyson, to be one of the greatest fighters that ever lived? How the fuck? Well, first of all, you might say, well, it's not Richard, you know, it's different things, philosophy and the way you used to take care of him spiritually, communication and that, and motivating him and that, you know. The true thing is, you know, the fire's inside, you know, the same way as Bruce Lee was. It's all about self-training. That's what it's all about, it's in the self. I know it's all about the self, I don't mean that, right? I'm not saying that he was the one training, it's still Mike Tyson doing the training. But I'm just saying, this person was a guide, he was a tutor, he was an instructor. Cus D'Amato pushed him on, and he pushed him from his heart and said, you know, the kind of thinking you've got to get your mindset. He kept him in control so that he didn't fall down and give up on himself. Even when he did, Mike Tyson was in tears. He was like a father figure to him. If you're going to say that's all rubbish, then you might as well give up on being a father yourself, anybody out there, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to, you know what I mean, a father, they were trying to say, a father is there to like help their kid, you know, it's the same thing, it's to learn something. It's what you call education, you know what I mean, and studying, you've got to learn from life and other human beings, otherwise you can only learn from animals. And fair enough, we can learn like martial arts and kind of, you know, how to move like animals, but at the end of the day we're human beings, and you know, our closest relatives are human beings, you know, they ultimately. So, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's why we've got to learn from each other, be humble with each other, rather than being aggressive and trying to get into fights. So you got Cus D'Amato there, no tomatoes there, you know, so I say, you know, pushing him on and that, and with knowledge too in his head, and that's what it was recognised as knowledge. And the only thing that is knowledge is what we recognise as fucking being knowledge. And we get that knowledge in our head and we say, well, that's knowledge, and that's what we understand. And the only true understanding is what we think we understand, and that's all it is, of recognising it from what I know. So as I said, I'll repeat that again. The only thing that's fucking knowledge is what we recognise as knowledge. And there's people recognising, not from other people's words as such, but I'm saying there's people around Cus D'Amato recognising that for being knowledge. I'm not talking about the people that saw Mike Tyson's fighting ability and they said, well, yeah, that's because he had a great teacher called Cus D'Amato, and Cus D'Amato is a knowledgeable man. No, Mike Tyson was training with him. Mike Tyson was that kind of, he was a stubborn kid from being young. He was like, he had it inside, and he would listen to this guy. Why would he listen to him more than some other people too? I don't believe that it's just totally chance that, and it was that situation, and that's the final ultimate answer. That's why you followed him. I think Mike Tyson really believed in him, and he really believed in some of the things he was saying, because he recognised that as knowledge. And you might say, well, yeah, that's what it means. So the knowledge is not in Cus D'Amato, the knowledge is already within ourselves. We only know what we know. So even when we follow someone else, we still follow ourselves. I'm not making a rant here, but I'm just telling you. No, that's still bullshit, because it was coming from Cus D'Amato's mouth, and he was saying it from his head too, and he was doing it. So someone who's being creative and trying to help others, that's what it's all about as well, you know what I mean? And that's what it was about. So we've got to respect that, and if we do decide and we want to learn from, so it was Mike Tyson himself who said he wanted to get into boxing and fight and wanted to learn, you get into training. It wasn't like Cus D'Amato was looking for Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was looking for a trainer, he wanted to train, he wanted to get into it. And it all comes from the self, you know what I'm saying? So, if you want to learn something, don't go around putting down other fucking people for being this or trying to get into challenges with people. Mike Tyson could have walked in the room and probably, even as a kid, or attacked, let's say, Cus D'Amato as an old man of any way or whatever. I'm not saying he would do that. Somebody could come up with anyone with a knife, you know what I'm trying to say, or whatever. You must have been extreme, or that wouldn't happen. I'm just trying to say, for example, then all the knowledge would have gone. You go in, you burn a library, you're burning libraries down because you say books can't help you, because they're not real people. Book can't pick me up like I can pick a book up. Yeah, this skinny guy can't pick me up like I can pick him up. Then you're a fucking idiot, because you can learn so much language, there's so much knowledge from that. Again, different languages, different cultures, the same thing. You see what I mean? So martial arts truly is all about. So you might follow someone for years and learn absolute bullshit. The truth is, you've got to study what you do. But as I said before, practice what you study and study what you practice. You can make changes and decide and not to study with that guy or move on. But you've got to learn and be honest, humble from day one. If you want to learn something, there's got to be a reason for that in the first place. Why you say you learn from the guy and you don't even know why? A lot of people's mouth will give with the benefit of the doubt, human beings in general in life, but you go to a teacher, a martial arts person, you go and study from that guy, or woman, or whoever, and you just learn and you see what it is, and you study that yourself and see if you can work with that and make it work for you as a fucking power. This guy might even have a system that is really, really a good science and a good skill, but he's probably a skinny little guy over the fuck. You might be tough and strong, but you might be able to learn a damn lot. Like some little skinny guy with no fucking arms, no legs, just a head in a jar, who's living in the middle of the fucking rainforest, but he knows everything about this rainforest, and he can talk to you and he can tell you everything about the berries, what to eat, which path to take, which route to take to the most safest route, what kind of snakes are deadly, what times and whatever the fuck, the rivers, and you can learn from that, and you've got a whole strong body, and you can just get the fuck out there alive. So you might be able to learn that martial arts system from some skinny guy, martial arts system let's say, you learn from some skinny guy, and you're strong, you might be able to take those techniques, think about it, and make them even more better even, or use your power and work with that. You see what I'm saying? And then you start saying, oh, this little old guy is my teacher and the rest of it, it's see-through, whatever the fuck. But you see what I'm trying to say though? And that's been going on for years, believe it or not, too, what the fuck. So what I'm trying to say is, humbleness is definitely what it's about, martial arts in general. You had people like, what's his name, O-Sensei of Aikido, like chucking people around and effortlessly with his skill. That was a physical demonstration. You could see him using the Aikido, people falling all over the place. And sometimes you want that. But it's different kinds of physical demonstrations, not only in the fight itself, but it's in the training hand to hand. But it's like, the teacher's never going to really fucking bust up and injure the student or hurt them and say, well, that's the experience there, listen to me now, I'm a real fighter. And then the student's not also going to not try and fight the teacher and say, well, you see, you're good or bad. It's not about it. So in the technique and the skill, when you're learning martial arts, you're feeling sticky-handed, or like throw-downs and sparring and fighting and learning the technique and how to move it, you will see damn well, you will see a lot, and the teacher will show you, the skills will start to come out how to block and the reaction and how to fight and the power, and you will realise and there will come a point, hopefully, in the training that you will realise through learning this art that you never learned before from this teacher that you should be respecting because you never learned it before, but through following this guy and getting that amount of experience, then you come to a point where you realise you're actually better than your teacher maybe, and you're able to take him out, take him down, or you're able to do things or whatever, or you've succeeded him. But you would never have been able to do it without that. So you've got to be humble, regardless of he's your martial art instructor, and you want to learn combat from this guy, but you've got a gun in your hand the whole time. Keep your gun put away. You know what I'm saying? Don't be there. I'm just saying, for example, I'm saying in terminology, I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You've got that, I've got a gun, I can kill you. Anything you do, I can just kill you now. And that's just ridiculous. It's like running your mouth and saying, it's crap. It's got nothing to do with what's being learned. You know what I'm saying? About you talking about this book, and it's got nothing to do with what's actually in the book. But you're saying it is, just because you've got the power to rip a book up and it hasn't got the power to rip you up. But if you read what's inside it, maybe that book's able to rip you up. The knowledge in that book is able to rip you up before you rip it up. If you're able to read that, it's almost like that. It's as though the book's ripping you up because you didn't even read it. You tear up, you rip yourself up. It's the same thing. Whereas if you were to read that book, maybe that book, the knowledge in it might rip you up in terms of inside yourself, doing a positive change, it's beating you down, making you realise new things, and then it's rebuilding you up again too. And then by reading more books open-mindedly, you can become a better writer, and you can write even more better books. You know what I mean? But being, as I say, natural and honest, so with me, as I'm saying, with my martial arts, as I say, I do my training whatever I do. I know I can help myself on different levels. I do whatever I want to do now, and I can improve myself on strength or flexibility or whatever I want to fucking do. But it's like, my martial arts is all Kung Fu and martial arts mostly, or Wushu mostly, Kung Fu, Chinese systems mostly. I practice a lot of different systems though. I'm a massive fan of Hapkido, Aikido, Ninjutsu, all the other systems, Karate, Taekwondo's okay. Bit of Muay Thai, but I don't like sport fighting in the ring, I'm just trying to say, the weapons for training, just training purposes, the philosophy of it all, but what I'm saying is, for me, it's like I do a lot of Wing Chun and that, I love that, the directness and the Tai Chi, fan of Bagua too, as I say, long fist like Wushu, basic forms are kind of good, but the flow, I love all martial arts, crane, tiger, snake, leopard, mantis, like I've never learned dragon, I'm trying to say, all the chi kind of exercises and integrating too, and being natural in myself and finding my own free flows of the energy and that, and just flowing and not pissing around dancing in a dream fucking world. I mean, like people do meditation or whatever, you might do your own forms of meditation, or like moving or still, sitting or standing or different things, like different breathing exercises, chi exercises or whatever. But with me it's like I do it all my own free flowing way, and the same for the fighting. I might move and flow in different ways, but I'm not going to say it's JKD when it's on. I just do what I do, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, this is what I want to say. One more thing I want to say, okay, before I finish this video soon, okay, I'm making a lot of different channels, so I'll just tell you 2 points. One thing is I'm thinking to make another channel and to put some old Wing Chun videos on of my old videos and show you some of my own home training videos. Training methods. Some people might say they're bullshit, but I think they're just good for training at home, conditioning, and it really has helped me so much in my training and Kung Fu training in general. Also some Wing Chun videos, like me training with students in the past, just simple self-defense stuff it was really, and a bit of Tai Chi in that too. So I'm thinking I might share more videos in another channel specifically for that, but it's just to upload old videos basically. I've got my channel, as you know, the WR Kung Fu, which is dedicated to Kung Fu. Another thing I'm thinking about doing though is making a channel again, something new, which is dedicated towards Kung Fu in general, but it's all new and fresh. I don't know exactly how. Wushu Richard something. Well, I'm thinking to do another channel with my online name, Wushu Richard, or Wushu Richard something, and make a new channel. I'm thinking also. So I've got a lot of channels. I'm keeping all these channels. Okay, I'm just saying I would like to make some new, fresh beginnings and that for especially new stuff and for the new year. I'm thinking to make even a new channel for my Wushu Richard, something along those lines for the name. Just what I do to share real Kung Fu training, but also include fun stuff in, like the raps and the things I do too. But because this channel, the Wushu Richard Life channel, Kung Fu and Entertainment I call it, it's got a lot of videos on it now, and I'm thinking to maybe make a new beginning, okay, with another channel. So we'll see how we go. But as I say, the WR Kung Fu, which is Wushu Richard Kung Fu anyway, WR Kung Fu is also a channel along those lines, but the difference is that channel is just focusing on Kung Fu training videos. It's not having any entertainment, no movies or raps or any fun bits, you know, it's just for Kung Fu lessons. The same way as my rap channel just for raps, the same way as my Anima Kung Fu channel is just for animation, the cartoons, okay, Anima Kung Fu, you see what I'm saying? I'm separating them into different things, you see what I mean? If I make the Wing Chun video, like, channel that I just said to you, that's just going to be just for Wing Chun. This channel, Wushu Richard Life, is for all the stuff I do, a lot of different stuff, different kinds of videos and that, and talk videos, all, but it's like, this channel is, I've got so much on it now, so I'm thinking about even another channel along the lines similar to this channel here, what I've got now, to see how we go. Okay. Other stuff I want to say, in terms of my martial arts in general, okay, yeah, so it's like, you know, Richard Clark's Kung Fu basically, or Richard Clark's Free Flow Kung Fu, or Free Flow Martial Arts, whatever you want to call this thing. I mean, I'm going to think of like a proper name to give this thing, but I'm not going to bullshit around too much in that. I do a lot of Wing Chun and Tai Chi, you know, and that's what it's incorporated into it, but I'll let you know, okay, with more info about this coming up, okay, but whatever name I come up with, fair enough, you know, I am also respecting, you know, sending respects and paying respect to a lot of people I've learned from in the past to in other arts, okay, big respect to Tetsuto Kinu Bujitsu, that, you know, which was something that was created by the late Richard Rogers, okay, a good friend of mine, and I'll be paying respect to that, okay, later on too, so I'll just mention that briefly here, okay. I won't talk about that a lot here, but, you know, along the lines of that too, I want to say, but martial arts, you know, forever, and I do mostly my own thing, as I say, like when you see RC Wing Chun, or like Richard Clark's Wing Chun, or RC Tai Chi Combat, Tai Chi and that, that's my own stuff. I'm not saying it's like perfect, proper Wing Chun and Tai Chi that was out there, and I'm not just trying to say it was all bullshit crap. It's something that I haven't learned, you know, to the full. I'm not the most experienced Wing Chun or Tai Chi practitioner. Therefore, I'm shit, or therefore I'm excellent. I'm super. It's just some magical thing. I'm not making up crap. I'm doing what I feel is useful to me. But truthfully, to me though, all the martial arts I do, it's a free flow. You know, it's all connected. You know, it's all my own flow. I do a lot of Wing Chun training within the stuff I do in my training, sticky hands and that, just my own training methods, striking, blocking, conditioning methods, and Shi flow methods like from Tai Chi essences and Tai Chi move. I mean real Tai Chi, but also like real Tai Chi essences, like just my own expression of feeling that and the balance. And to me, it's real Tai Chi, but it's just my way of doing my training. I don't just follow the Yang family, Yang Shu, you know, form and all that anymore. I do my own training. I had basic Bagua training and Wushu training, long fist Wushu, but I just do what I do. I never forget my karate and kickboxing basics I've learned in the past, you know, it'll stay with me forever. Again, mantis, snake, leopard, tiger, crane, all of that in there, and exercises. And so I just want to promote martial arts on all levels and share the good with everybody, okay, and self-defense is basic for anybody out there who wants to keep fit or do basic fitness or work up to hardcore training so they can be stronger and much stronger than me too. I just want to share and just share what I do. If people don't like what I do or they think it's crap and fuck it, you know, then fair enough, I don't really give a shit. Excuse my language, I just don't give a crap. I just do what I do. That's why I don't put out so many videos anymore like I used to do, because I feel I just share what I do, and if people, you know, people who like my stuff, fair enough, but it's like I'm not trying to put it out there and say this is what it is, because there's a lot of good stuff out there, and you know, if you can make yourself the best you can be, but it's like I want to share with open-minded people, you know, and humble people. That's what I mean. So I just share with what I do, and I'm happy to share with people in martial arts area. Thank you all to my good friends and subscribers online, everybody, okay, for being with me all the time. When you hear me doing the raps and stuff and swearing like I've been here and being sarcastic or joking, or doing the raps and the cartoons I make for fun and all that, that's all for fun, okay, and the little movies, that's all for fun, and I'm just speaking my mind when I'm speaking my way, and all the stuff I do is for fun and entertainment, but all this other stuff, you know, but it's like, martial arts is martial arts and it's no joke, and I'm happy to share what I know. And if you want to just look at my fucking frame of body and say I'm thinner than you, or you want to look at me and say, well, the stuff I'm doing is shit, or that's not perfect Wing Chun Tai Chi, or that's not this or that, fair enough. I've seen a lot of people out there that are not well known, like experts or masters, whatever the fuck, and they look like fucking shit. But there's people out there that I've actually learned from that are really, really good in what they do, and they've helped me a lot in life, and I see them as real, true martial artists, okay? So I'll just say that right there. And there's people out there also that are really good at what they do, and they've followed the lineage for like years, and they're really good. You can learn so much from them too, you know what I'm saying? But all this MMA stuff and negative violence in the world, I've got no time for it, okay? Yeah, so I'll just say, I'll just finish here, you know, thanks for watching, guys. The one more thing I was going to say, I was watching a video the other day, okay? I was watching a video, a very good video. There was a video from someone online called Freddie Lee, if you know Freddie Lee, okay? Freddie's Modern Kung Fu, and he's got a lot of different channels. He's great, he's a very good martial artist, very good open-minded thinker. Hi Freddie Lee, if you're watching this, I'm a big fan of your videos now. I've watched more of your videos, and I agree with most of everything you've been saying in the videos about people in this day and age. They really just don't have a clue what real martial arts is about. You know, people just getting stuck in systems and stuff. And basically everything this guy, okay, Freddie Lee, has been saying is really spot on, I feel. And he's a very good martial artist and strong, very strong at what he does too. And he's great at what he does, original and fresh, you know. But what I want to say, okay, is yeah, I watched the video. I can't remember exactly what video it was now, but there was one of your many videos. Okay? Also, your raps are great, by the way, too, Freddie. But yeah, but it's positive stuff, you know. And there was one video that Freddie was making. Okay, Freddie was talking about martial arts, but anyway, it doesn't matter who said it. But I'm just saying, Freddie was talking, and there was some guy, some arsehole, excuse my language, some nasty person left a comment on one of his videos. Some arsehole, excuse my language, and this person said, oh yeah, what do you mean about peace and humbleness? Yeah, because Freddie was talking about, you know, like Tony Jaa and that, and Jet Li. I'm a massive fan of them too. I think they're great, and Bruce Lee. I know Jackie Chan does a lot of comedy in that, but you know, Tony Jaa is great, yeah. And he was talking about Tony Jaa. I think it was the Muay Boran, whatever you call it. You know, it's the original Thai boxing. You know, Muay Thai, the original fighting style. And anyway, you know, Freddie was talking about this guy. He was talking about how on back was, you know, very peaceful, humble man. Also, he's got all the spirit and that inside, the inner stuff of martial art. Not just a fighter, you know, but he's the real deal, and he can kick ass too. And he was talking about this, and anyway, this arsehole, this hater bastard, you know, this person online, this guy left a message on his video, okay, a comment on his video at the end, and he said, oh yeah, what do you mean about humbleness and peace and all this and understanding and spiritualness? He said, oh yeah, in warfare, like in the army, in a warfare or something like that, okay? He said, what do you mean? He said, you know, when you're going to kill the enemy, he said, you don't have any compassion, you shouldn't have any heart for your enemy. Do you think people care about that? I think this is the misconception. This is the problem. That's the wrong thing to say. That's absolute immature, unfucking wiseness there. Not wise at all. When you say a fighter in a war, in combat, first of all war is bullshit. In fighting though, you've got to defend yourself, fair enough, and you've got to, you know, and you might have to fight hard. But what it is like, you don't say that. You don't say, well, oh, you don't have any compassion for your enemy. If you don't have any compassion for your enemy as a fellow human being, then yeah, truly, you are a fucking idiot. You become the same scum and shit as him. But the true thing is, right, the true thing is this. That's what we're talking about. It's the background, the actual mentality of the whole thing. It's like, you might even, in a fighting situation, let's say if you are going to strike the guy and it's a real life or death situation or whatever, you have to fight and you have to hurt the guy, let's just say, you have to punch and hurt the guy. Obviously when you're trying to hurt that guy, you just want to say, well, where is the compassion and the peace in your heart when you're actually hurting somebody, even in self-defense? But what I'm saying is, it's not that you don't have any, it's because you do. In true martial arts, you've got the love for life, the passion for life, you respect life and regard all life. You try to prevent more violence and prevent more worse from happening. You don't want that guy to kill you or kill himself or kill others. Whether you're trying to win the day at the end of the day. If you talk about killing somebody with a gun, then there's no justification. But you say the guy's trying to kill you, you have to. That's in war, and it's a dangerous thing. But it's not to say you've got no compassion. They're going in like machines anyway. They're going in like robots anyway. With that mentality, we're fighting for our country, all dressed up in army gear, and going to fight. That mentality. It's not fresh and free in their mind, is what I'm trying to say. It's the same way as like Freddie was even talking. Freddie Lee was talking about also how the Shaolin monks, they just wear the same clothes, they do the same shit, the whole they never change over the course of history and all the rest of it. And he was actually right on so many things he said there. Even me, I'm a massive fan of Shaolin and I mean traditional kung fu. I'm a traditionalist. I hate all this MMA shit. But he was right about what he said, that people need to be original sometimes and unique. You people just going into systems and stuff, so you go into prison and just give you a number or whatever the fuck, you know, or like an army and things, you know, again, like I was just saying. So these people going in like machines anyway, they're just going into battle and you kill somebody without compassion, or you're fighting, you know, without compassion. That's not martial arts. You don't want to do that in the first place. It's like somebody's, it's not like you want to, that's my enemy, I want to knock this guy out, I want to hurt that guy. That is not martial arts. So this guy, okay, this arsehole, some guy was leaving a comment on one of Freddie's videos, and this guy said, oh, you are clearly not a fighter, you know, because you don't understand, you know, when in real fighting, you can't have compassion for your enemy, otherwise you get your ass kicked. You've got to be merciless and just kill the guy, knock the guy out, and kill the guy, whatever. But to me, I thought that was ridiculous, you know, because, so Freddie, take no notice of that, okay, that was just pathetic shit from that guy. And the people, as I say, it's the same from people sucking up to people, egos and all the rest of it, all this stuff, okay, and just people just talking crap about whoever, you know, good and bad. It's all negative, you know. I'm going to finish this video here, okay, guys. I'm going to stop the video now. Alright, but I wanted to say, you know, guys, keep an open mind, okay. Thanks for watching. More videos to come, more martial arts to come, okay. And as I say, thanks for watching. And more, I'm going to keep you informed on what's going on with my training, okay, my free flow kung fu and videos to come very soon, okay. Train hard and stay safe. Thank you for your patience always, okay. Thank you.